Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing well. So, we're in the third article, whether God exists, and this is really brilliant, I must say. So God is the first motion, and God is the first efficient cause. Now we're in the third part, which is dealing with possibility and necessity. So God, according to Aquinas, is his own necessity. So perfect analysis, let's continue, okay? The third way is taken from possibility and necessity and runs thus. We find in nature things that are possible to be and not to be. So another mind challenge is thinking about things that are possible and that are not able to be or not to be. It is really a journey to contemplate that. So let's continue. Since they are found to be generated and to also be corrupt, and consequently they are possible to be and not to be. So notice this, found to be generated. So they can be or not be, as Hamlet in Shakespeare says, right? So corruption is another angle as well. They're not perfect. But it is impossible for these always to exist, for that which is possible not to be at some time is not. So I like that. Something that doesn't have the possibility to exist at one time wasn't. So it comes into existence. So it's exited the non-existence to existence. Sounds very Heideggerian, I must say. Therefore, if everything is possible not to be, then at one time there could have been nothing in existence. Now, if this were true, even now there would be nothing in existence, because that which does not exist only begins to exist by something already existing. So notice this. Something must already exist for something to come into existence, so there's this relationship. So something can come from nothing. We're pretty familiar with this argument, but here Aquinas, obviously, being a classical theologian, has laid it down for us. Therefore, if at one time nothing was in existence, it would have been impossible for anything to have begun to exist. And thus, even now, nothing would be in existence, which is absurd. Therefore, not all beings are merely possible, but there must exist something, the existence of which is necessary. So notice this, the argument of necessary existence, helping to lead the first cause, set things in motion to come into the realm of possibility. You follow? But every necessary thing either has its necessity caused by another. So remember how he got into the first cause and the efficient cause? It's all relating back, very logical flow of order. So now we're getting into, like he said, the necessary. So remember the potential to actuality? This is what we're getting into. The potential led to the actual. The potential was the necessary, you see? But every necessary thing either has its necessity caused by another or not. Now it is impossible to go on to infinity in necessary things, which have their necessity caused by another, as has been already proved in regard to efficient causes. Exactly. So, the efficient, something had to be there. There had to be something there prior to itself, because something can't bring its own self into existence. Therefore, we cannot but postulate the existence of some being having of itself its own necessity, and not receiving it from another. So God doesn't receive his necessity from anyone, but rather causing in others their necessity. So God gives the causes the necessity, but does not receive the necessity. This all men speak of as God. So another brilliant example. So God is the one who gives the necessity, causes the necessity, does not receive the necessity, and God is the first efficient cause, right, as he stated, and he is the manifest mover. So he puts everything into motion as the first mover. Very solid arguments thus far on articulating whether God exists. Very powerful statement, I must say.